Hi everyone, I'm JD, welcome back to my channel. Alright, I have got the big reveal of all the journal covers I have made for the Blue Butterfly entries. Some of it was Happy Mail or RIKs, but I just included all as the Blue Butterfly journals. Not all of them have a blue butterfly on them, or even a butterfly, but because it came through with all your entries, I just am going to call this collection the Blue Butterfly Journal Collection. And yeah, as you can see, I kind of went a bit crazy making covers. I always say this, but it's all about the cover for me. I make the cover first, and that inspires me most, and then that helps me know how to fill the journal. And if I just have pretty fabric or pretty papers or pretty book cover, that tells me what kind of journal cover I want to make, and I make that first. So this is what I've done so far. I did the napkins first, the napkin embellishments and the book page embellishments, and finally this is my book cover or journal cover stage of the process. I don't know where to start. Well, okay, the idea behind this was also to create as many types of journal covers as possible, as many styles, and hopefully in the next video I'm going to share in a bit more detail about the actual techniques that I used, what kind of covers that you can, or what kind of materials you can make covers out of, and I'll go through that video idea where I was going to share 10 journal cover ideas, or 10 ways to make a journal cover, and use these as an example, so that's perfect. Two birds, one stone. But in this video, yeah, I'll just do a little bit of a quick preview, I guess, or sneak peek at each cover that I've got here. So the first two covers are these little ones that I'll share. Little paper bag, glassine bag ones. Just pretty papers and little. So I wanted to make it different sizes as well, not just different styles. So those are the first two. Let's go in order of size maybe. This one's a fabric cover one. Some of them I still got to do the insides for, but this goes along with the bluebird. So in the challenge, people could also get an entry if they sent in a bluebird or a blue flower. Then we have this one here. I love the paper. Very pretty paper. That was a paper bag one. This one, fabric cover journal with this pretty fabric that came in as well. And then these three, I think, I'm so sorry that I haven't mentioned anyone's names because I just put all the entries into one big box and they're all mixed up now. And I'm so sorry. I was hoping to keep track of everything, but I think that would have slowed my progress if I was trying to work out and keep things separated and keep tabs of who belonged to which person, like what belonged to which person. And I'm so sorry if, yeah, I didn't mention your name when I do all these videos, but hopefully you get a bit of a thrill when you see your item being used. Hopefully you do see your item being used. And where I do remember, I will try to mention it. So these ones, I think, came from Shah Fisher. Beautiful, beautiful fabric. I'm tempted to keep one myself. So there's enough to make 3, which I was really excited about. And I did 3 different kind of styles with this one. Really pretty paper here on the inside of this one. Oh, ah. It's really cold here. I lose my grip and my feel when my fingers become numb. This one was actually made out of that book, The Children of Willow Farm, Enid Blyton book that you saw me make all those embellishments out of, which I'll link that video below if you've missed it. It's a bit of a craft with me and a share of different ideas to make embellishments out of book pages. This one I didn't do anything. It's just a nice bit of card, thick, shiny blue, and I thought you can make a cover out of that. Kind of like a traveller's notebook style. Nice and simple. I should also mention, yeah, the other idea is that I'm going to be making myself 2 journals. I'll show those at the end. But all the others, they will be available in my Etsy when they're finished, and all the money for that will go to the publishing of the mental health book. Now, this is actually it was an envelope. I cut it down here to create a journal cover. But I'm thinking of turning it into an ephemera folder instead, because I've got so many covers, so that might become an ephemera folder. Not sure yet. This one, I believe, came from Rhonda Marshall, and she tucked in all her, and I apologise if I get names wrong, I'm so sorry. It's this front part, she tucked in all the bits of ephemera for her entry in here, and it's so pretty, and I just wanted to show that off, so I turned it into a journal cover, and I just improvised, used some of the fabric that came in with the entries for the inside, used some of this paper that came through the entries, and more of that fabric to make a hinge and a spine. Literally this cover, I wouldn't do a tutorial of this cover because it was just completely me trying to work out how on earth to do this. Perhaps though in the next video I can go into more detail about how I did make that, in case anyone is interested, if they have just one thing that's fun to put on the front. I don't know, it was really thick, so I had to really improvise. I had to build up layer by layer this backing sheet. I mean, you could just get something that's that thick. But use whatever you have on hand is the aim. So yeah, if anyone's interested, I'll share more about how I made that in the next video. And then this one came from Shah Fisher. It's like a tag, but it's on this really thick board. So I don't know if it's like a wall hanging type of thing. Definitely couldn't put it on a journal page because it's actual wood. But it's too pretty, so I put it on a journal cover. I wanted to show it off somehow, and so it is now a journal cover, and it's going to be a spiral bound one. So I may just leave it like that. Sorry, this is me just adding things in here that I want to put in there. And I covered the insides too with some other paper that came in. And then, yeah, I might just leave it like that. If anyone's interested in a plain notebook like this, just let me know. But otherwise, I'll kind of take out pages, bulk it up in the junk journal style, the way I usually do my faith journals. It won't be a faith journal, or maybe if you want it to be a faith journal, but it's just going to be a blue butterfly themed, or whatever's come in through the entries I'll use to decorate some of the pages. But yeah, that's kind of fun. I like that on the cover. What do you reckon? Bit different, but I like it. The aim was just to show off everything that you guys brought in. Oh, that light is not fun. Okay, now we're getting to my favourite ones, because this is my favourite style of journal. The ones kind of where I make the journal from scratch myself. And ones that have an actual spine, like a wide spine. They're my favourite. Like I want one that has more than one signature. I think, I don't know, I'm still getting used to it. That beautiful fabric that came in. This one, just used some more fabric that came in, got to cover the inside. So then, now, alright, these are my 4 favourites. Here we go. Okay. Alright, I just like looking at them. Except not with the lighting like that. Alright, now this one. Okay. Isn't it pretty? This is kind of the direction I want to head in a little bit to experiment with, to see if I like this style. But I just see this kind of stuff on Facebook and I just go, oh wow, that's so inspiring, and I'm in awe. And this came from, I believe, Susan Hall? I don't know how you say your last name. The Crafty Bibliophile. I really hope I got the right person just then. And I was wanting to keep this in my journal because it's so pretty. It's one of my favourite pieces that came in. But because it's really thick, anything too thick, I won't be including in my journal. I'm so sorry to all those people who put in such hard work making something so beautiful, and often my favourite pieces were those pieces. But, and I know you could use this in a journal, absolutely. Some people do use thicker things in their journal, but I like the thinnest. I like, not really thin, like flimsy, but card, the thinnest card, I suppose. So anything that's even a little bit thicker than that, I just won't put in my journal because I don't like chunky journals. And so I apologise to all those people who put in such amazing time and effort to create amazing masterpieces that is just a little bit too thick for my liking to put in a journal. Just my personal preference, but your work is still amazing and don't want to take anything away from that. And yeah, I'm kind of a bit disappointed in a way because I'm like, no, that's my favourite piece, or those are my favourite pieces, but I can't put it in my journal. But I am excited because it means I can share my favourite pieces with you guys, with the Willowbound Journals community, or whoever would like the journal. That's what I'm kind of hoping with these journals, because I made so many. I think these ones are the most personal for me, the most special for me, the most meaningful, because of the people who have just come in with such support, sending these things in that are catered towards my heart, to my liking, to the things that I like, that make me happy. And therefore I hope that these journals are extra special for whoever gets them, because they're getting a big part of me, but also you guys are getting a part of every other person who sent something in. And I don't know, for me they're just extra special and extra meaningful. And whoever gets this journal, I mean, yeah, part of me really wants to keep it myself. I think this fabric came from Starfish. It's so pretty. Oh, I love it. And this kind of, I don't know what you call that, but it's got kind of glittery sequins in there. And because Susan already did this herself, it's already layered and embellished for me. Chucked it on the front, layered it up with this, and ta-da! Ready-made journal cover. I didn't have to do anything really, but I hope to do this kind of thing myself in the future. I still feel like it's so intimidating trying to work out how to do this, but I'm going to get there. This is inspiration. And yeah, I just went on a big ramble there, but I'm tempted to keep it, but I want to spread the joy of this journal cover with someone else, because yeah, like I said, the two last ones I'll share are for me. Alright, then this is one. I just love little golden books. They're probably one of my favourite types of journals to make, just because of the look, and I really love that the cover's already made for you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to add anything to it, although you could if you wanted. I know that some people love to add flowers and bling and lace and all that kind of stuff, but I just love the simplicity. That's what I've worked out. I pretty much just like simple journals and letting the journal speak for itself. So I just used some more of that fabric because it kind of had lots of green, and that greenery here, I thought that worked well with the greenery there. But it has a theme, butterflies. So that is the inside, so I'll just leave that the way it is to show it off. I love that that's blank there. And yeah, I'll have fun filling that up. This will probably be an eclectic journal with this one because there's quite a wide spine. Yeah, I'm going to include, by the way, lots of things from my own stash, lots of my own papers and embellishments as well. So it's kind of like I'm entering myself in the challenge so that you still get like a lot of me. I'm like, you get me anyway because I'm making it and putting it together, but I want a bit more of me, if that makes any sense. So I'll throw in my own stash, so it's like together we've created these journals. I don't know. So that's that one. And these two, I'm sorry for anyone who was like, oh, they're my favourite, I want those. No, these are for me. This is actually why I kind of did the challenge in the first place. I already had made this before I even announced the challenge or thought of it. And I just love the papers. Tim Holtz papers, they're my two favourite papers on the front and the back. So we've got the blue butterfly kind of theme on the front, the blue bird theme on the back. Perfect. And then we've got the blue flower theme on the inside with my favourite washi tape on the spine. So it's just full of my favourite things, this journal. and 2 pockets in the front, nice and simple. So I can just put like a tag here or journal card, and that will record what the journal's about, and then one on the end, because I like to do that, to say, I don't know, when I finish it, and the journey about journaling in it. And so my idea was that I would embellish this journal with things that came in from the challenge, and then I would just use it as a straight writing journal because the pages are already decorated. That was my original plan, and I was thinking at the start, like, I would just embellish it with, well, I didn't really think much would come in, to be honest. I thought people would just send in, you know, 1 or 2 butterflies, and therefore it wouldn't be that embellished anyway. But as more things came in, I changed my plan. I was like, okay, I'll just load it up with embellishments, and that's fine, because I'm just going to use it to write in. I'm not going to add anything else to it. It'll just be this beautiful journal of lots of embellishments. But then, because this challenge has gone on for so long, and so much came in, and I've learned my own style in that time to now, what I've learned is, yeah, I like the simple journals more. I like unembellished journals. And maybe I do want to add my own things to the page, and I just love the blank canvas to add my own things when I come to a page, because I don't know how I want to use the page until I come to it, and if it's already embellished, that limits me in a way. But I don't know, at the same time I do like it already there, because then I can just write if I'm just using it as a writing journal. But I don't know if I want to stick things in it. This is my dilemma. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, if I'm going to embellish it up a lot or if I'm going to embellish it a little. Either way, we will have some embellishments in there, but I may only choose my absolute most favourite pieces and only include those limited items in here, just because I want to add my own stuff when I come to the page later. I don't know yet. Same goes with this one. So this is the one I'm keeping, and this is the one that I think, I don't know, because this one I feel a bit bad that I made the cover myself out of things that I already had in my own stash, rather than making it from things you gave me. So it's not really a Blue Butterfly Challenge journal, because the cover has nothing to do with the challenge other than theme. But I will fill it up with stuff. Like the things that I embellish it with will be from you guys. I love that's from the dictionary, because as a writer I like the connection to words and that kind of thing. And as I was saying, I gave a sneak peek on my Patreon to my patrons of these journals, and all of the process, all my sneak peeks are on there. So if you want to see more of the journals and the process, that's the place to see it on Patreon. But yeah, I'll link that below if anyone's interested. What was I saying? On Patreon I was just sharing how it's too big to, kind of ungainly, if that's a word, and a bit awkward. So I was thinking maybe it's more like, and it's really sturdy though, this cover is kind of heavy, more like a keepsake journal for special. But I really want a daily one, a big daily, because a daily you're going to use it every single day and you want it to last a long time, so you want lots and lots of pages. So my original plan was to use this as a daily and just load it up with pages, pre-embellish it, and then just write. But at the same time, if I'm going to use it as a daily, I'm probably going to pick up things from my life each day that I want to put in the journal and stick on the page. So journal dilemmas, it kind of stresses me out a little bit. I get a bit anxious because I just want a journal, but I don't know how. And I think the idea is just do it. Like, you know, I've just got to get over it. Get over my perfectionistic nature and having everything planned out. And yes, I'm going to use the journal like this. And just do it, you know. Just the main point is to use it. But I'm sharing my thought process and just sharing this in case you're interested, or if you can relate, or if you have advice. I don't know. Now, this one, okay. This material is from Bonnie and Clive. My absolute favourite material. I've loved it ever since she first showed it on her channel a million years ago, it feels like now, even though it was only last year. It's probably not showing up on camera, but that fabric colour, it's pretty much got my favourite shade of blue, which is Twilight Blue, which I just call it Twilight Blue because it's in the sky when you see the gradient. Dark blue to kind of greeny, there's this middle colour that I call twilight blue because you can only see it at twilight. You can also see it in the ocean, so maybe I can call it marine blue or something like that. But that pretty much captures that colour for me right there. And I think because it's got the gradient on the cover anyway in the fabric, that's what's doing it for me, because it looks like the twilight sky for me, or the ocean. Because if I just saw this colour in isolation, I don't think I'd like it as much as I do in context, because I think it's maybe a hint too much green for me in isolation. I don't know, I do love aqua, I do love teal, and I do love turquoise, but my heart will always be with strictly blue, light blue in particular. I don't know, now I'm rambling. This kind of thing like is important to me though, like, because colour means something to me. It makes me happy, and the way I've always been a very boundary kind of category definitions person ever since I was a kid, and always had first, second, third, fourth, fifth favourites, and it just enhances my enjoyment when I can categorise things like this, and I'm trying to put into words the category that I see this in. Anyway, not sure if anyone else would be interested in that. So, these two I love, and I just love this fabric, my favourite fabric in the entire world, so I want to keep this for my special journal, and that's why I'm not sure if I keep this one for just a random daily or keepsake one, or same thought problems around this one goes with this. So, but I've got two. So I'm not sure if I make the same type of journal, or this one can be a daily and this one can be keepsake, or vice versa. This one can be random, that one can be more special. I don't know. And this is why I think I'll be making my own journals last, because I just want to think about it a bit more and see what resonates with my heart, and see if that tells me how I'm going to use these. And once I know how I'm going to use them, then I can add the pages. I've already taken out all the things from the entries though that I want to include in my journal. So all the Edith Holden pages, some scrapbook papers I had in my own stash, the coffee dye papers from Tony, and any coffee dye papers that came in I made sure to include. I just love ledger papers. So it's, even if a journal was just this, that actually makes me super happy. So that's why I'm not even sure about how much embellishing I'm going to do, because this in itself makes me so happy. Yeah. Lynette, I was going to turn your folder into a journal cover, but I ended up sewing it together, pulling it apart, sewing some pockets on to turn into some pages for my journal. I was a little bit devastated that's not a cover, but the thing is, this is actually my reasoning, I'll be honest here. If I was going to turn this into a cover, I would have given it away as one of the Blue Butterfly collection journals to go on my Etsy, and I didn't want to give it away because I like it too much. But I didn't want, personally, I wouldn't use this as a cover. I might. Thing is, I've got so many journals that I really don't need a third journal in this collection. So, and I've already got quite a few in this style, so that's why I would have given it away, because I don't need it. But I love it too much to give it away. So I turn it into pages to put in my journal instead, so that way I can still have it. Sorry guys, it's mine for that one. Lots of Velveteen Rabbit pages to go in my journal as well. So I'm splitting these between, well actually that could maybe fit in that. Actually, I think what I was doing, those ones were for that one, those big ones, and then these ones were for this one. Love that. Oh, that's the other thing I've been doing, is any happy mail that's come in or anything that I find that I really like, ever since I started this journey, I've been putting aside for a special journal, and so that's what will go into these two as well, is what I'm thinking. Just my favourite things will go in these, is, yeah, the idea in the end. Maybe I'll just stick with that. Keep it simple. My absolute favourite things will go in here to give me joy, and there's not that many of my absolute favourites, so maybe I just leave it there, and then I can choose. That leaves me leeway as to how I choose to use it. I could use it as a writing journal, just pack more pages in. If I want it to be me adding stuff, I'll just put less pages in, but this embellishments will be just whatever is my absolute favourites. I don't know. So that ended up being a bit more of a ramble about my own 2 journals. But I guess the whole challenge was to make my own journal in the end. So I'm going to go on about my own journal. And I'm really happy about keeping these 2 for me. And I'm really happy about sharing all those other ones with you guys. And I hope you do too. You're happy too about that, and catch the heart behind it, about, you know, spreading it around, spreading the joy, and having a bit more of, you know, my personal touch in there, my heart in there, and having the Willowbound Journals community being part of these journals too. So that ended up being a longer video than I expected. I just talk too much, don't I? So yeah, in the next video I will go over, it's probably more than 10 journal cover ideas, but I'll go over the techniques I used, the materials I used, and just go through journal by journal some different ideas of how you can make a journal cover. And then after that I will try to work my way through each journal cover and do a tutorial on making them, if I haven't already done a tutorial before. So for example, I've got one using a biscuit box that will come up, and I was thinking I'll do a Make a Junk Journal with Me series for that one. So we'll get our supplies ready in one video, the next video we'll do our cover, the next video we'll add our pages, that kind of thing. Because I just had so much fun with the other Make a Junk Journal with Me with the paper bag version, so we might do one with the biscuit box together. And yeah, it was just so fun seeing so many people be part of that, and getting emails from people saying things like, I made my first journal following that series, or I taught someone else how to make a journal following that series, or I'm not so intimidated now because of that. And I don't know, that's kind of why I do this. If it's not helping anyone, what's the point with, you know, Willowbound Journals with this channel? So yeah, my aim is just to get people making journals and to write in their journals. Okay guys, that's enough from me. I'm going to turn off my camera and start filming the next video. Bye.